Well, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection employee who leaked the information about the state's plans to build golf courses, large hotels, pickleball courts, and more at 9 state parks has been fired. James Gaddis tells the Tampa Bay Times that his actions were not political and that there were 2 main reasons he chose to speak out. First, the rushed secrecy that was behind the park plans and the vast environmental destruction that would be caused if they were to be completed. Gaddis said the directive for park changes came straight from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' office. According to his firing notice, the state is firing Gaddis over conduct unbecoming a public employee, violation of law or department rules, negligence, and misconduct. Without Gaddis leaking the information, there would have been little advance notice of the state's plans. News of the proposals to develop and change the state parks, including Honeymoon Island in Pinellas and the Hillsborough River State Park, brought massive criticism from park users, environmentalists, Democrats, and even some top Republicans. So, Carlos, let's start with you. How much damage did this do to Governor DeSantis?
Well, a lot of damage has been sustained after we saw Ron DeSantis back down from his corrupt plan to pave over our state parks with golf courses and hotels. The reality is that Ron DeSantis got caught by this whistleblower trying to help enrich his cronies by exploiting our state parks. But the reality is here that the timing of this scandal that Ron DeSantis has been the center of came right after the August 20 local and primary elections, where an overwhelming number of his endorsed candidates, especially for school board across the state, including in Pinellas and Hillsborough County, just totally bombed. Voters rejected his candidates who were obsessed and focused with culture wars. And when you see the bipartisan opposition to these plans to pave over our state parks, not only by Democrats, but by our Senate President, Kathleen Passidomo, Cabinet Member, Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson, that is further evidence that Ron DeSantis's power over the GOP and Republicans is really waning after his presidential campaign failed and voters just summarily rejected his candidates during the August 20th primaries.
Stanley, were you surprised at the uproar out of the public? And do you agree with Carlos that this really sets back Governor DeSantis's power over the state?
Well, I do, but I guess I look at it from a little different vantage point. I think that right now, being that this is his last term, he's working on his legacy. And his legacy is really becoming one of untruths. And it seems like only when he gets caught, his first mode of action is to back away. I didn't know anything about that. Well, I kind of don't believe that. And I don't know exactly to the extent, but I would like to know, as we continue to investigate this, how much Tiger Wood and how much Nicholas were paid for their consulting fees.
Jack Nicklaus. Let me put something up on the screen regarding what you just said. This is what Governor DeSantis said last week. He said that the proposal to put golf courses in Florida state parks was something that was leaked. A lot of that stuff, he said, was half-baked and not ready for prime time. But PolitiFact says that the department's attempted public rollout shows this proposal was in its final stages, and PolitiFact says that the governor's statement was mostly false. So, Deborah, the governor's reputation, what would you say? How has it been affected?
I have a huge respect for our senator-elect and also for Stanley. I would have to respectfully disagree. When plans are half-baked, first of all, remember, this is one side of this story that was in the newspaper from this employee, this former employee, and then the governor made his statement. And I will tell you, I've been on the other side of that PolitiFact, right? They got it totally wrong on something related to me personally. So, I mean, you have to take in all the facts, and I think that we don't have all the facts. And to make rush to judgment on what's really happening and to say that this one thing or one particular piece of something related to the state park system is going to destroy a person's reputation is really just, we're going too far too fast. I will tell you that environmentalists are right. We have Florida people come to Florida to live, work, and play, and especially in our state parks and all the other things. They love our beaches and other things. So we do need to protect them. But I think we're just being a little bit hasty in terms of saying a person's reputation in elections were decided because of this one particular piece.
So if Governor
I'd like to
DeSantis
see a
wants,
legislative investigation in that case, that's for sure, because we need to follow the money to see exactly what's behind this corrupt plan.
Stanley?
Well, I kind of agree with what you're saying. I don't think that anyone is ready to make a decision in concrete yet. And as I said, I think this is just another thing that paints a legacy of untruths. I do believe it needs to be looked into, and I also believe the top priority needs to be, that would kind of color the whole investigation, is to find out how much Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus were paid for the consulting fees. I think that will give a true light on the situation.
Maya, there's another number out there I want to ask you about. Gaddis, who's the whistleblower, had put up a GoFundMe page and said he wanted to raise $10,000 to help with his child care and other expenses and make a transition to a new job. He's already raised more than $200,000 on his GoFundMe page. What does that say about people's concern for the environment here in Florida?
Listen, I think that it was very clear, and just to push back a little bit on the reputation piece that Devron said, I can recall when Governor DeSantis was first elected, people thought that he was going to be a moderate governor because of his commitment to environmentalism. And so now we see 4 years later, when it is politically convenient for him to, like the senator said, help his business cronies maybe make some more money, actually be in complete opposition to what we thought he was going to stand for. So I think it is, one, indicative of the fact that he is completely vindictive and he will enact his vengeance and whoever is in opposition to him. And it is unfortunate that he had to get fired and then result to a GoFundMe page to just sustain and take care of his bills. But I think that many other Floridians who are having issues paying their bills are probably going to result in having to do the same thing.